So, Miasya Bulger is a third-year student and 2018 Schulich leader studying software engineering, formerly bioengineering, at McGill University. Her experiences include co-leading a neurotechnology design team and interning at Google and Morgan Stanley. As you can see, theme books, all forms of crafting, especially painting and quilting, singing in the car to 2000s pop, and hosting board game nights when COVID isn't on. We are excited to learn from Miasya's unique experiences in her talk, Friendly Sexism, Hidden Challenges for Women in Tech. The stage is yours, Miasya.
Thank you so much, Kinga. I'm just going to share my slides here. Now I noticed that Edge doesn't really like me, so you're going to have a little bit of a preview here on the side, but hopefully we can make this work. Awesome. So as Kinga said, my name is Miasya Bulger. I'm studying software engineering at McGill University, and today I'd like to discuss with you friendly sexism. Now, before I begin this talk, I'd like to clarify that I'll be using the word woman to refer to any individual who is female identifying, as well as anyone who can just relate to the experiences that I will be discussing. All right. Now, when I first started to hear the word sexism, especially in relation to women in tech, my immediate thought was about thinking of individuals being rude to women, or about pay and promotional gaps, or the assumption that women are less competent. However, I realized that sexism has many sides. And today I'd like to highlight the framework of ambivalent sexism, which emphasizes the coexistence of two subcomponents of sexism, hostility and benevolence. So most of you are likely familiar with hostile sexism. This is the overt negative prejudices that individuals have towards a particular gender identity. Hatred, objectification, and aggressive behaviors are all part of this group. Some of you may also be familiar with the other side, benevolent sexism. This is a form of sexism that uses positive evaluations of people based off stereotypes, and often views people who conform to stereotypes in a more positive way. Now, hostile sexism and benevolent sexism are both common issues, but one is a lot more easy to recognize and identify, and therefore it's easier to shut down or stop. But this leaves benevolent sexism to lurk in. Now, I'd like to take a moment to illustrate a recent example of this happening in my own life. And then after that, I'd like to talk about what I learned from this experience and what I'd like to share with you going forward. Now, I was completing a summer internship at a large software company, and I noticed pretty early on that I was one of the only women on my team. This sucks, but it doesn't really surprise me because that's the harsh reality of the tech sector. So when I got along with everyone and began contributing my ideas and my code to the project, I thought this is great. People are listening to me and respecting me. Why was I so nervous? Some time passed, and then it was the time for the midpoint evaluations, and I was nervous about something completely different. I think it's the same kind of stress that you experience when an exam is coming up, because you just want to do well. So soon I received my report, and at first I thought it was great, and my managers praised me for being energetic, likable, a strong communicator, a pleasure to work with. But then I realized that something was missing. Nowhere in my report was there feedback on my algorithmic skills, my code quality, curiosity, or perseverance, and that hit me pretty hard because I had this really nice and encouraging written report, but it also just made me feel like I wasn't doing a good job at my job as a software engineer. And the only reason that I would maybe find or keep a software engineer job, it made me believe that I would only get those since I contributed to a nice atmosphere, and not because of merit and not because of working hard and deserving it and developing valuable technical skills. Now, this isn't the only time that this has happened to me. It's happened at school, it's happened at hackathons, it happens at interviews. But this was really the moment where I realized that me and my peers might be fighting this for our entire careers. And that the leaky pipeline for women in tech isn't just caused by a handful of misogynistic managers. It's also because you keep hearing that your strengths are your interpersonal skills, and you start to believe that. And when you don't hear anything about your technical skills, you start to believe that maybe the reason why people aren't talking about it is because you don't have any. So my message to you, my message to everyone at SLXCA today is to think about these 3 key takeaways to help fight benevolent sexism. First, think about how you express what you admire in people. Make sure that you're really basing it off of like who they are as a person and what you truly value in them, instead of things that you like assume that they demonstrate because of like their gender identity. Next, speak up when you witness this and keep an eye out because it happens a lot. Inform others, just say, hey, you know, make sure, like maybe she is a really good communicator, but make sure to also acknowledge like the hard work that she's doing. Because those well-meaning compliments can actually be detrimental in the long run. And last but not least, believe in yourself. Trust your skills, trust your traits, trust your effort, even when they go unacknowledged. Next slide. With that, thank you for having me and for listening and learning about friendly sexism today and how you can combat it. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime if there's anything you'd like to talk about more. Thank you.